Right, our last day in this apartment.
It turns out it's actually over.
Oh, that's good news. Okay, we've packed up. All of our stuff is here. And we're gonna hit up the Spanish Steps very, very briefly.
Is that because I remember it?
Yeah.
Wow, love. You've got the hotel with the open windows right there.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna walk around and take photos.
Right, that's it. This is the last of our stops in Rome. Now let's go. So we just figured out, after a lot of research, speculation and confirmation, that the street that we're in, Via Sistina, is the one that was featured in the movie Fast 10 when Dom Toretto, aka Vin Diesel, runs along going up towards the Spanish Steps, trying to stop a bomb from detonating. But we've realized that the physics of that actual scene in that movie do not make sense at all, because it should be going uphill, but the ball is rolling downhill even though the street is actually uphill. So that was a little fun fact that we discovered today about
Apparently this weekend's going to be big for the Perseid meteor shower. You never see these things in England because it's probably raining. We might see it.
meteor showers. We're waiting at the train station. Our train leaves in 25 minutes. So yeah. We're back at the car in Ciampino Airport long stay parking. The car is not as hot as we thought it was, which is really cool. I'd also got one of these things from Halfords, which I think has helped to keep the car a little bit on the cooler side. But yeah, it's nice to be reunited with the car. And yeah, we've just left the park and go place where we stashed our car for the trip to Rome. And I think that the solution worked really well. It was absolutely going to be impossible for us to try and drive around Rome with our van in the roof box and also find somewhere to park that didn't have the height restrictions. And so I think going forward in future, whenever we come back to Rome, this is going to be our solution for it. The public transport to get into Rome from the airport was very reasonably priced as well. So that was quite good. There are two main airports around Rome. So there's Fiumicino and there's Ciampino. Ciampino is much smaller, and I think that I preferred that one. It's much closer to Rome. So for the public transport, it would probably take you about 30 or 40 minutes to get into the center of Rome. And yeah, so
it's also 3 euros per person for the train and bus to get to the airport.
Yeah, so
it's vastly cheaper
than the Da Vinci Express. So for Fiumicino Airport, you'd have to get the Da Vinci Express, which is actually more expensive compared to Ciampino. And because Ciampino is a smaller airport, it doesn't have the transport links are not as crowded. So highly recommend that if you're driving into Rome. Maybe if you've got a small dinky little car, you're fine. But if you've got a bigger car and you've got a bigger family, think about parking in Ciampino. Look for the long stay parking over there. It's quite reasonable, and they have a shuttle that takes you to the airport where you can then catch the links into the city center. Now we've got another 5-6 hour drive ahead of us to get to Vieste, which is where we're going to be doing the camping part of our trip that I'm really looking forward to, because I'm done with the touristing bit. We did a lot of touristing this last week. I mean, it's hard to believe that we started off with doing Barcelona, and then we did Florence, and yeah. So now we're going to be camping, and that's going to be much more my pace that I quite like, that I enjoy. But before we do that, we have to stop for supplies. So we're going to stop by a Carrefour along the way for some supplies. We're stopping for a rest, and you can already see the sea. How beautiful is that?
Extracted the anonymous sheet of paper. It said, in the large typewritten characters near so well, you are required this instant.
Okay. Yeah. Trees. Here now, this is our camping pitch.